All right, well, we made it back once again for another edition, but this time I'm not just one man down, I'm two man down, but I'm making it up by having my boy Chris Reinhold join the show. So Chris, how are you, buddy?
Hey, what's up, Mike? How you doing?
Doing well, man. Doing well. I'm glad you're able to come on. You got a busy schedule coming up, and that's why I wanted to get you on, talk a little bit about this upcoming match you got going.
Yeah, I got the match with Shane McMinn, race to 100. I'm trying to get that monkey off my back and finally win a race to 100. So
I
it's
was
gonna be
gonna say,
good.
man, because the last time we seen you, well, the last couple of times we seen you play Race to 100, you didn't come out on the other end looking so hot, man. And I remember when I was talking with Joey about it, he told me specifically, he was like, man, Chris told me he would never do a Race to 100, and here he is firing at another one. So, give me some details, man. What made you have a change of heart?
Well, I mean the opponent. Just being honest. I mean he's
Yeah, yeah.
it's not he doesn't have a Tyler Steyer or Danny Olson break. So
It's a
I
big
feel
difference,
like
Chris. Big,
it's
big
it,
difference.
it's humongous. And
Yeah.
I after I beat my head on the wall twice, I realized that I need to figure out my break and I need to figure out, it's a crucial part of the game. And I worked so hard on it that I owe it to myself to give it another try because I really, really, really want to I want to do to someone what someone did to me. Does that make sense?
I like it, man. Yeah, yeah,
And I
yeah, for
my
sure.
my goal is to beat him worse than I got beat by Danny. But a win is a win.
That's pretty strong though,
199.
man, because it wasn't close, like not at all.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, it's just realizing that I can play with these guys, game
Right.
by game, shot by shot. But if I'm breaking, never making a ball, never getting a shot in the one, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how good you play if you can't break, and that's just the what I learned, and that's what I took from it. And I've been working so hard on that. And I it, it can't be a weakness at this point. So if he beats me, he's gonna have to beat me also while I'm breaking well, and that's going to be a tough task for him, and we'll see what happens in a few days.
I like it, man, because like, and you know what I appreciate about you? It's your honesty, and it's being able to have perspective because a lot of guys will kind of get in a bubble or maybe surround themselves with people that are just yes men and just giving them a pat on the back and letting them know all the things you do well. One of the things that I really appreciate about you is your openness, your ability to get vulnerable after a match or a tournament or whatever. Really, not pick yourself apart, but just be honest as far as what areas of your game you need to improve on. And I'd agree with you, man, because a lot of those matches leading up to it, that was one thing that really had me scratching my head. It was that, man, Chris's break is a liability. It's not going to go and help him. And it's one thing if you're going and playing with someone that has, a break that isn't strong, but when you're playing against these guys with massive breaks like Danny, like Tyler, it's a different ball game because your ass is going to be sitting in the chair for 2 or 3 racks at a time every time.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like the racks that I did win, I felt like they were just easy to win because I'd outmaneuver them or whatever. You know what I mean? But then I'd have to break again. So it's like, what's the point of winning that game? So it's
That's so
just it's so
so
bad.
bro.
It's just
Yeah.
it's like it was it was it was too and it was too ridiculous for me to just be like, got to reconsider playing pool. I just got to figure out my break.
Yeah.
And just once I figured out my break to where I got it consistent, I've been booking some winners and some gambling matches now, and I really don't gamble a lot. I try to just keep and just trying to chase the Mosconi Cup and the points and the tournaments, and because my goal really is to win a world championship, and this I know a lot of people laugh when I say that, but um, I don't at all because I mean everyone has their stepping stones, and everyone takes their own amount of time
Right.
to come into their own as a player. And I feel like I've been kind of a late bloomer in that aspect of it, but it's also because I've realized that to get to this point.
But you're young still, Chris. I mean, you're talking about like you're in
Yeah,
your
but
like in
it's
your
it's
like turning
brutal. It's
40.
brutal because you have these American fans and all that talking to me and supporting me, and they're just like, well, Federer is only he only did this, and Filler did this, and blah blah blah. But it's just like the opportunities I've had. I'm grateful for all the opportunities I've had, but they got all of their, their big collapses that really just like set in stone their career. They got that out of their system when they were like 14 or 15.
Right.
So by the time they're on the world stage, they're like 100% ready for it. They're basically in their prime. And I feel like I haven't even come close to my prime yet. You know what I mean? Because I have glimpses where I'll beat, like a top player and just totally beat him in the whole match, and then there's other times where I'll lose focus and I'll do this, I'll do that, and I'll lose, and it's I've never honestly had a match where, I mean, obviously I've had a few matches, but most of the matches that I lose are never, I never come out of them feeling like I learned something, because it's always something. I mean, I obviously learned something, but I have those little like collapses that I can't even know where to begin to start on the looking at my game, because it was so bad that, you know what I mean? So,
How
um,
hard is that? Is that like mental back and forth where it's like you'll have a tournament where maybe you'll beat someone who may, or a few guys who maybe on paper you were an underdog and you're feeling on top of the world, and then you'll come up flat, let's say another week, when you're playing another big event against guys who maybe you ought to go and have their number. Like how hard is it for you guys being professionals to like stay strong here?
That's the thing though, is that everyone seems like they are, but they're not. I mean,
Right.
if you go to any, like in the fans and stuff, they're all gonna pretend like everything's fine and whatever. But when they go back to their hotel room that night, they're gonna be beating themselves up because they didn't play well. They did this, they did that, and it's just um, what you'll learn as a professional pool player, and talking to all of them and going through the kind of life that we go through is, it's hit or miss, man. It's hit or miss. Everyone has their own demons that they battle with, and
Right.
on and off the pool table, and everyone knows everyone in the pool world, and it's just such a tight knit community that everyone's business seems to be everyone's business. That's why I try to keep. That's why I try to keep to
It's
myself
true.
most of the time. You know what I mean? So, I mean, it's just. I don't know. I mean, mentally, it's hard. You have to have you have to really, really, really want to be here to be here, and that's what I've learned the past few months. Is the past 2 years, the first part of the year, I've played terrible. The past 2 years, the the first month, right after I made Mosconi Cup, um, the first time, the it was just brutal, because that was my only goal my whole life, was to make Mosconi Cup, right? So
You
instead
played
of being
great, I
that,
thought. I thought you played
yeah,
great that first time.
I played all right, but you know what I mean. But there's it's getting used to the limelight, and getting used to everyone. The minute you walk in a pool room, people are like, oh, he made Mosconi Cup, or he. And then they have to talk, and you realize that
You got to be on
you
all the time.
yeah, it's just, the thing is, I mean, I read this in a really great book called Relentless, but whatever you have is on the table at all times. So in this match with Shane McMinn, I mean, when I lost to Danny Olson, everyone was saying, "Oh, well, now Danny should be on the team, and Danny should do this, and Danny should this. He just beat this
But
guy."
it's
You know what
different
I
though. I
mean?
mean, it's you're talking 10 ball,
No, no,
9 ball.
no.
You're talking about playing 10 ball versus being on a big stage like Matchroom. It's apples and oranges, I feel like, because
No, I
the game is
understand.
everything.
I totally understand. But the thing is, a lot of the fans don't, and they're not supposed to.
Right. All
You
they
know what I
see is
mean?
that you
Like,
got smoked by 40 playing 10 ball against some guy who they think,
yeah,
I know who
exactly.
Chris Reinhold is. I don't know who Danny Olson is.
Hey, 35, thank you.
Close enough. Close enough.
Yeah.
Let me ask
I
you. So, I
mean,
mean, we talked quite a bit, me and you, and I remember you coming out and hitting me up like it wasn't too much longer, maybe like a good 2 months, and you were like, "I got it." And I said, "What do you mean? I got the break. I got the break." How much has it been? Had it
uh,
Was it weighing on you after those matches where it was just where you had to go and put in work in the lab, man?
man, it was immediately after the Danny Olson match.
Because it'd be easy to fold it and pack it in and say, you know what, I'm not going to go and play no more, big table 10 ball anymore. I don't want to go and because it was, getting beat by 35. That's rough. That's real rough, man. So it would be easy just to go and say, you know what, I'm not going to play that game no more like that.
Yeah, but that's a loser mindset. It really is. Like if you want to be a champion, you have to adapt, and if you don't want to
Right.
adapt, you should just stay playing bar table tournaments and calling out Mosconi Cup players.
Oh man, shots fired. Well let's talk about this because all this
Uh,
seemed to come from I think it was an
nowhere.
interview that Tracy did with
Yeah.
Shane, and it was some like real obscure video that I happened to catch on YouTube, and I caught a little glimpse, and in so many words, and it may be a direct quote, but it was like, I'll swim through a river of you know what to go and play you, and then all of a sudden I see you on a post or something a few days later where you were like, let's do it. Let's put the cues together and let's play some.
Yeah, I mean, I was ready. I was ready to play the next week. Like I didn't understand where it came from because listen, I mean, I'm not like I'm not a big gambler. Like, I used to only gamble. Like I used to only gamble. I'd go and play people. Like me and Tyler used to play all the time. Me and Justin Martin, Manny Perez, Josh Franklin. We used to gamble when we were like all around the same age. I mean, we still are, but when we were all
Right.
playing, and like that was like I didn't really focus on tournaments. I was just, especially when I was in college, when I went to Lindenwood, when I was 18, 19, I was only gambling, and then I realized that I wanted to make Mosconi Cup, and to do that, you have to play the tournaments and do all that.
Right.
So, I mean, I was working, minimum wage jobs just to get to each tournament and really do what I want to do. And when it finally became time to go do it, then it's I was driving from California to Virginia to go to play in the International Open. I drove from
Good
California to
drive.
Virginia, and then in Vegas, my cues got stolen, and then I had to go play a set for 10,000 against someone who I got drilled by in a race to 80. You know what I mean? I, like, I don't. It's
So
brutal, man.
brutal.
Like I'm really like I've had some crazy bad experiences, and I think that seasoning has really made me the player I am now. And uh, what was your original question? Oh yeah, how'd that start?
I don't remember, but it
Yeah,
doesn't
how'd
matter.
that start? I mean, he did something in a post, and then people started tagging me, and I was confused because usually, if you just want to message me and say, "Hey, do you want to play some?" I would have responded with yes right away. I would have came to his home pool room,
Right.
and I would have just, I just he called me out in November, and I was like, "Well, do you want to play next week?" And he said no. How about next year? And I'm just like, wow, that's a little weird, but all right. And I just didn't think he was being serious because if you call someone out, usually you're like, all right, well,
You ought to be
let's
ready.
play,
I would think. You
let's
should be
play in
ready.
a week or something or tomorrow. I mean, we live like 4 hours away, and I've asked him to
Nothing.
gamble a few times on a big table, and he just, he's always said a set of each on the bar table and the big table, and I just didn't really want to play the bar table. So, um,
Well,
yeah, I
that
mean, I
that seems to be Shane's game. That's why I was surprised whenever he, decided to go and play big table 10 ball. But I'm curious, like, how hard was it to go and iron out the details? Because we've heard it time and time again whenever these matches are getting put together that, and I think it's what are y'all playing? Wood rack, right? Wood rack 10
Yeah, we're
ball,
playing wood rack, 10 ball, winter break. Um, I don't know.
standard 4.5
Yeah,
inch.
just standard stuff. The thing is, though, it's just I was really just confused because like if he would have just sent me a message saying, "Hey, do you want to play some?" I would have said yes. It would have been on. But this whole thing's been weird because I don't know. I mean, I've
Personally,
tried.
I like it because I think the game needs more flavor, and I can see it maybe from your standpoint, and maybe it being a little disrespectful. But you know what? I like it brings up a rivalry. It kind of puts a chip on your shoulder. If you feel disrespected, you want to go out there and prove something, and not just go out there and say, "Oh well, I hope we all play good. I hope we all do
No,
well."
I agree. Trust me. Like, I mean, I'm not really. I mean, I like to be cordial with him, but I mean, at the end of the day, he's trying to take money from me. So I mean,
Right.
it's not like we're supposed to be friends or best friends or whatever. Like we're competitors until after the match, and then after the match, we'll see if But the thing that's it just feels. I don't know. I don't know. I just can't wait to play. I've been wanting to play him for since he called me out. So it's
Even whenever it was announced, it was real weird. I remember because it was like, wait, this is in 3 months or something, or 2.5 months. Usually, when we see like, okay, we're gonna advertise for it, it's like, okay, it'll be in 30 days, or maybe it'll be in 6 weeks, something like that. But it was way out, like way
yeah, it
out.
was like a
To
UFC fight.
be
Like he's got to he's got to meet an American top team first, and then
He's got to put in a full camp,
You got to put
But
in
it
a
seems
full
like he's
camp,
doing a
and he's
lot of
gonna
things
bring
to
in
go
Tyler to
and
help him break, and he's gonna bring
yeah,
in Alex to help him move. It's just
I like it, man.
that was
Preparation.
cool. I'm looking forward to this match, and it's gonna be a good match either way. But um, I think I got a few more weapons rotation wise in my bag than he does, and we'll figure it out in a few days.
I'm looking forward to it, man. So if you guys are in the chat, let us know if you guys can hear us. I probably should have asked that about 15 minutes ago, making sure
What?
that the no, I was saying I was talking with everybody in the chat and just to let us know if you can hear us and if the audio's coming in. Usually we did at the beginning, but Joey's not here, so I'm dogging it. But let's kind of go off on a tangent here because you brought up, you chasing tournaments and going for the Mosconi Cup. You're going to be missing a pretty important event for which may come back to bite you if it becomes close at the end of the year in the Super Billiards Expo in order to play this, man. So what if any has that weighed on you, or have you thought about it at all, missing a points event that was kind of announced last minute?
The thing is, if they, I already set my calendar for what they announced in the beginning of the year. So, when I make stuff around those events, they can't exactly expect me to, change my plans just because they changed theirs. And
Right.
as much as I really want to make the team and I really want to do this, I really want to do that, I have to do what's best for my career.
Right.
And chasing an event that pays 10,000 for first when I can win more this way. You know what I mean? And I only have to be one person.
Yeah, you don't got to go and fade like it's
I'm gonna
16
beat the
champions.
field.
And be there for 5 days or 6 days, whatever it is. I get it, man. It's got to make sense financially.
Yeah.
How tough is it for you guys when you hear stuff like that go and be announced? And I'm not, and while I think while I love the premise of it, adding more events here in the States, like how rough was it hearing that? I mean, hell, we only got 2.5 weeks notice, 3 weeks notice, maybe at best.
Yeah, that's no good because flights get expensive as you get
They
closer, and
do.
and pool players already don't get paid enough. So the more time we can give them to prepare, that they need to find a stake horse, or they need to find, you know what I mean.
Right.
There's just a lot of moving objects in pool that last minute events aren't necessarily like. I'm not trying to say they're bad because I'm glad that they added another event
For
and
sure.
people can try to get their points right, but. I personally think they should have just left it at however many events they were eventually originally.
Yeah, it makes for an interesting predicament, and I know I don't travel nearly as much as you, but for someone who figured out last minute that they were going to the expo, I knew all too well just how brutal it was day after day as each day went away, how much higher those flights went, and especially in the last like 60 days, how much flights have gone up. Because I'm checking quite a bit, and it's rough, man, and I get it, and but you got to go and make whatever best decision that you feel is in it for you, and I got nothing but respect for that. So. But what are your goals for this year, Chris? Is Mosconi Cup back on the radar, like realistically for you? Is that what you're hoping to
Um,
go and attain?
after so I just recently got back from the World Nine Ball, which SVB won, and props to him. He's so happy for
How
him
cool was
because
that
he
for you,
was.
man?
Oh, that was so cool because I was watching it live, right? I, if he wasn't anywhere in the top eight or whatever, I wouldn't have gone down and watched just because I just seen the same people win all the time. You know what I mean? Like just seeing
Yeah.
Albin, Josh, and it's brutal. But when Shane got in top 16, we watched his match. Wolford, Shane Wolford, his dad, Nick DeLeon, Michael Yednick. We were all just there rooting for him, and so when he got in the finals, I was like, dude, he's not gonna lose another time. Like he won't let it happen.
I don't know, man. I was nervous, buddy.
I was nervous too, trust me, but it's just there was a feeling about it that I think I was 6'6". I was going to my chair in the stands, and I accidentally made some noise. It was dead quiet. It was right before Alvin broke. And I swear it was so bad.
Oh
And then
man,
I felt so terrible because he
we need to
scratched
bring
in the
Albin
side.
on. Maybe he remembers that moment.
He scratched in the side right when I moved my chair.
Oh,
And I was just like, I turned my chair around and I just stared at the, at the
did he give you the
sign.
look?
Oh no, no, no. He no, it was just it was I'm not saying I helped, but it was I felt
What
so
is
terrible.
what has Shane Van Boning meant in the career of Chris Reinhold? Like as far as when you were growing up and looking up to at top players.
Well, he's been number one in the U.S. for a long time. Once he took reign of number one in the U.S., he kind of just stayed there. No one no one really questioned it, no one really challenged them, and the people that did just got drilled, you know. So I mean, really the only person to beat him is Dennis and Alex, which I think are the two best, well-rounded players potentially ever. So I mean, if it takes that to beat him, I mean, even Chang couldn't beat him in that long race. You know, it was hill, and they stopped and they extended it, and then it was just so crazy. But um, yeah, I mean, he's an absolute animal, you know, and that's someone that dedicated their whole life to pool, and you know, he fishes a little on the side, but other than that, you know, he's pretty tunnel vision on pool, and it's paid off for him. Now he's a world champion, you know, and he's won everything there is to win. So that's definitely a very high bar to set, and you know, it kind of inspired me honestly because I was I mean, just being honest here with you, I was redebating not pool, but you know, chasing all these events and stuff because I had such little motivation for it. Because you know, I didn't. I had these excuses in my head like the balls are too clean, the tables are clean. You know, they change every time. There's just this, and that. And then I was talking to Alex Pagulayan and I was telling him all this stuff, and he goes, because we all went 2 and out, me, him, Michael Yednek, Max Eberly, you know, we were all just like at a cafe. We just we all just like just laughing at each other because we all just played so bad. But the thing is, it's you got to look at it differently. And him and I kind of discussed that maybe the problem isn't any of that. It's the fact that I don't have a real goal that I work for every day, and that's honestly, you know, when I was coming up, I had that goal. I was to make Mosconi Cup, and I haven't changed my goal since I made it, and which means I have been complacent and I haven't, you know, had the same drive that I had to get to this place, right?
Right.
And so when I got back from the UK, um, I was jet lagged as heck, like it was bad. But I woke up at 4 a.m. or whatever, and I waited till the gym opened, and then after that, from that point on, I've just been hitting balls for 8, 10 hours a day. I've been going to CK billiards. I've been playing minimum of 6 hours a day, and I've been working on things I've needed to work on. I've been working on my pre-shot routine, on this, on that, and I'm rediscovering my love for pool because
It's
obviously no
awesome.
one likes it when you play bad, right?
Of
But the
course.
reason I was playing bad is because I wasn't practicing enough, and I wasn't spending the time on to work on the things I needed to work on. You know.
I remember we had Alex on. I think it was out in Vegas, and I forgot who asked the question. Maybe Joey heard it in the chat or something, and brought it up to Alex. But it was just on that topic when it comes to practice. And he said the biggest I don't want to say, I guess, issue or mistake that he sees people make is they don't practice with purpose.
Yeah.
If you're practicing and just hitting balls, you're never going to go and get anywhere. But if you want to go and accomplish something, then you need to work on that task in order to go and achieve it. So that way you have something purposeful to go and be focused on, to go and strive for. So I love that, man. It's cool seeing, because Alex is, obviously a lot older than you are, but it's cool to go and see that he's given advice like that to you.
Yeah, of course. I mean, the thing is, I mean, all these top players, all these champions, they will give you advice. The advice is free, but the work it takes to take that advice is a whole different thing you have to earn. So when you say, because I used to do this all the time. When I was struggling with my break, I was playing Tyler, losing because I couldn't break the balls, and you know, I mean, just not making it competitive, Danny, and all that stuff. You know what I mean? It's just he told me just practice it. And I said, "Come on, like there's gotta be like some little shortcut
It's
that you
not
can
like
give
flipping a
me."
switch though, is it?
It is in a way because I have it down to such a. I know what's going wrong when it goes wrong now, so that's like the first step.
But how long does it take you to go and get there though? That's the thing.
Oh, a few wrecks, few
No, but
breaks.
I mean like in general, like you're from where you're starting first breaking 10 ball to where you are now when you're having that
Oh,
confidence.
from when I like in a
Yeah,
race to
yeah.
100, I would hit the ball, the one ball, and then go 3 rails with the cue ball and not make anything.
That
That
may
took a
not be the
long
goal,
time.
buddy.
That took a little longer than I thought. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I mean, it's just putting in the work, and that's if you're afraid to put in the work, you're going to be afraid to win too. You know. So That's the thing. It's like I play in these action, these basically every time I play in a tournament, I'm might be on the stream table. I might be, there's people watching, um, and that's how you get graded.
Yeah,
You
for
know what
sure.
I
I
mean?
mean, it's
That's how they grade you. Like they clean. They're on absolutely new conditions, new balls, new cloth, new everything. You know what I mean? The TV lights. These tables play like no other table in a pool hall, and I would bet my life on that because I have never experienced these conditions. So you have to use that experience to get better at that thing, right? So it's just, and they see you play on those conditions, they're like, well, this guy sucks. And they see you play at the pool room, and you're like, oh, he never misses. Well, that's because things are just,
but
it's
is it getting easier to go and adjust? Like the more you go and travel the world, the more you play on these different stages, these different events, different
yeah,
conditions.
100%. But so what my distinction from this London trip, which I went to and out in, I lost like 8-9-3-9-3, right? I didn't have the desire to be there. I didn't like I was literally almost over it.
Yeah.
Like my heart wasn't there. Like I wanted to leave. I wanted to go travel around London and just have a good time the rest of my trip because I just didn't want to be there playing. And that's not good for me. It's not good for my sponsors. It's not good for anyone. You know what I mean? The people that took their time to come watch my match and they have a job, this is their day off. You know what I mean? Like all these people that come to watch me play, they deserve to see my best, and I deserve to see my best,
Well, you heard
and I'm not
have you
seeing
heard
it,
that
so I gotta
have you
work
heard
harder.
that have you heard that Kobe quote or that Kobe line? I know you're from California. You're a big Kobe fan, but it's why he hated taking games off
Yeah,
is
hundred
because
percent.
he didn't know when it was that person's like one time that was in that stadium that they showed up just to go and watch you play.
Yep, I totally agree. And the thing is, whenever I, help out the juniors or go to the junior national championships or do this, it kind of reignites my flame for pool because I see myself in all of them as far as, they love this, like
That
absolutely love this. Like,
unjaded
there's,
enthusiasm for the
yeah,
game.
they don't have
They're
those
not scarred,
experiences.
they haven't been
They're
through the
yeah,
drama, they haven't been
exactly.
treated badly by promoters or whatever. It's just a pure love for holding that cue and going and hitting balls and running out and that taste of victory, and it's pretty special whenever I get to go and see them too. I agree 100% with you, buddy.
Yeah, I love it.
But
I
how can it
love it.
not go and motivate you, right? And you kind of have to try to stay as like as pure hearted as you can with it. And you've been through that gauntlet, you've been through that, and they look up to you the same way maybe you looked up to players growing up. Do you have any kind of like, do you think about that at all? Like as far as holding that kind of responsibility and how you want to come across? Because, and I'm not saying it because you're here, but you do a pretty good job of like not promoting yourself on social media, but carrying yourself well, being a professional and not just like an American professional, because there's a difference. Like being a professional when it comes to being a pool player.
Yeah, I mean, I try my best with everything. At events, I love to talk to people and just answer any questions that they have, and because it's there's a lot of stuff that goes on outside of the pool in the pool world that is, it's just it's stuff that happens in every job. You know what I mean? With it, all employees don't like each other. Everyone at the
Right.
office, you know what I mean? Like they don't all get along, but it's their workplace, and they gotta, have some
Gotta-
cohesion,
Right.
and they gotta figure it
Fair.
out. You know what I mean? Just it
Yeah.
happens. But I think the thing that all pool players have in common is we have that same beginning of we picked up a cue and we loved it.
Right.
And that's
Yeah.
all I need to have with someone else to have a mutual respect for them, right?
Yeah.
So no matter what happens, difference of opinion, this, that, I mean, we're all in the same place for the same reason, and um, the thing is, it's just, I don't know, you got to find your motivation. And if you find your motivation, you got to stick with it because
Yeah. See,
motivation
that's the
comes and
thing.
goes.
It's one thing to go and see it and to go hold on to it for a few days, a few weeks, whatever, but you gotta keep that fire lit. And I know it's not easy, and I'm sure it's the most convenient thing in the world to go and get frustrated or discouraged, and or just be a freaking human, you know.
Yeah, 100%.
And it's so tough because you guys, and I'm a victim of being that person where it's you going out there and you're picking apart your game. Oh well, he missed this, or he's not hitting this ball right. He's not going and breaking the balls as great as so and so go. But you know what I love is seeing that those steps, like you said, those guys who are enough with excuses and just going and putting in the work to get better, as opposed to just saying, well, you know what, it's so hard, I don't want to do it, I'm giving up, I don't want to go and compete, I don't want to travel around, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that because it's too difficult to go and fade. I like seeing guys who are just putting themselves out there and going and achieving, man. And
Yeah,
you got a lot of
100%.
fans because of that. Really
Yeah.
do.
I mean, and I realize that too. It's like, I know that if, um, I don't know. It's just, it's tough because, so motivation is something that comes and goes. But if you have a purpose, like Alex is talking about,
Yeah.
then you don't need motivation. You know what I mean? You already found your purpose and what you're going to do every day to get to that result, right?
Right.
So, say I want to be world champion. Well, I kind of got a late start on that. So I have to so these to be just in the pack, you have to be practicing 2-3 hours a day, and go to all the tournaments and learn a little bit here and there, and that's what I've been doing for like the past year, right? But to get to that next level, I'm gonna have to eat, breathe, and sleep pool, and it's got to be your life. And
Yeah.
once I came to terms with that, like a week and a half ago, like really came to terms with it, like just understand that when you wake up, you're gonna go work out or exercise or whatever, and everything you do is towards that.
How important is that aspect for being an overall, not just better person, but better pool player, better athlete, going and focusing on your health and your physical fitness and your diet and all those things? I know I've seen you focus on that over the last few months.
No, yeah, I've been really cranking that up in the past like month. I'm probably in the best shape of my life, cardio wise, and I'm bulking up a little bit, which is nice. But
You're fucking fun.
uh,
Yeah, you're
I
looking.
am,
You
I
look.
am,
You look.
I
You're,
am.
look- you're looking. You're
I
looking
know, and
swole, my
these
man.
patches are covering
Yeah.
everything.
Show the
Uh,
take us on a trip to the gun show, buddy. No, I'm just kidding.
Maybe later, maybe later.
Yeah. No, it's good though. And you know what? I mean, we keep on bringing up Alex, but Alex talked about the same thing. Even at this point of his career, how he's still focusing on a new diet, and I forgot what it was. I think it was lectins, and don't even ask me what that is. But he was
Oh
talking
yeah,
about
he was
just
talking about that too. I I listened to him about the pool stuff, but when he's talking about like different words I've never heard, I'm like, I'm
yeah,
right.
yeah. Never in my life in 35 years had I heard that up until that point. And I probably won't hear it for another 35
Yeah,
years
and there's some
later.
that
But
are he only eats like alive food or something, or dead food or something like that. No, alive. It's like plants that are alive or something like that. I don't know. Whatever.
way
It's
over my
yeah.
head.
Yeah,
Well,
it was.
but no, but it's cool though seeing that like you're still even at that point, you're still going and evolving, right? You're not going and getting complacent. It doesn't matter if you're at the beginning of your career or maybe towards the end of your career, if you're in the middle of it, if you're 15 years old starting off, or if you're, in your early 40s like Alex is going and playing pool, you're still evolving and you're not just settled into what you are.
No, yeah, I mean you have to be evolving. If you're just gonna stick to what you are, you should just, you know, either just get a job and do it as a hobby and so there's no pressure, or just you got it. You can't have one foot out, and that's what I've realized. You
But yeah,
gotta
you
just
can't half-ass it. If you're
you
gonna be
gotta just
doing it, you better go do it.
yeah, that's what I mean. It's like there's no point. I'm wasting time here if I'm just having one foot in, one foot out, and I'm gonna, go to events because I feel obligated, and then I'm just gonna, just play my best in the match and not really practice. Like that's no, you can't do that. Like you can, but you can't. You shouldn't. It's there's no point. For me and my preference, I realize that I have to just put my all into something, and I'd rather put it into this than go work another job I don't like. You know what I mean? Because if you're going to work either way, you might as well do something that you really like to do.
Love doing.
Yeah, that's the thing though. It's tough. It's a tough thing, right? Because um, it's a love hate relationship. It really is. When you put so much hard work into something and so much time and effort and all that, and then you don't get rewarded, sometimes it's disheartening. But that's that's at everything. I mean, if you see like I'm really into the UFC and like the keeping up with all like the contenders and the champions and all that, right? But like the tip top guys, they get paid a lot. But the the bottom barrel, I mean, they get paid like 30,000 a year, twenty
Full
thousand a
player
year,
money.
less, sometimes less.
Yeah.
And
But you gotta
it's
pay your
just
dues, and you gotta go and get creative as far as how to go and earn an income and to stay motivated and to stay focused. And I'm sure there's a million excuses to go and just say, not today. Today I
yeah,
don't want to do it.
and I've used them all in the past like year. I guarantee you. And that's what I've realized is that you just gotta man up and get better. There's no other way about it. So, oh, have you seen the documentary about Michael Bisping?
Mm-mm, no, but I
Yeah.
like
Okay.
I've watched a lot of Bisping's fights though over the years.
Yeah. So Bisping obviously has the one glass eye, right? Halfway through his career, he got an artificial eye. You can't see out of one side, and he still became the middleweight champion of the world, right? 185 pounds, um, with one
That was
eye.
a tough division for a lot of years.
With one eye.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Imagine
there's
fighting
no
a trained
excuses.
killer
Yeah,
with two eyes, let alone one. And
yeah,
he went and talked about all these setbacks he had and all this and all that. And then he had this one quote that I remember because I was on the plane. I was on the plane coming from London back home to Texas, and this is why it stuck with me because I was kind of in that spot, right? He was saying, his dad used to always tell him, listen, there's two types of people. There's the people that when they're swinging from a branch or like when they're swinging from a tree branch to another tree branch, they don't let go of this one until they can make sure that they get the other one. Then there's the other
security.
people, the champions, that will let go and just know that they'll find a way to find another thing on the way down. And that's what really just
Whatever it
made everything
takes.
click for me.
I like it, man. I like
Yeah.
it. You got to find motivation and you got to figure it out for yourself. And like I've had my struggles through the years. I quit drinking maybe like 8 years ago. But one thing that I remember during that journey was that nobody's ever gonna go and be a reason why I quit drinking. Not my kids, not my mom, not my partner, not anything. It had to come from here first. It had to be something that you really wanted to go and do, and that applies to anything in life. If you
Yeah,
want to go and do
100%.
it, you're going to just do whatever and anything possible in order to go and achieve it. But you know what it is, man, is that you get to do something, you get to play a game or a sport that gives you freedom, and it's not always easy, but you get to do whatever you want, whenever you want, however you want to go and do it. And not many people get to go and say that, man. So I'm not an overly religious person, but it really is a blessing, And you got a lot of people
Oh,
who
I agree.
who who look up to you, man, and who applaud you and who champion you and root you on. And I mean, it's no pressure because you're gonna be whoever the hell you want to go and be, man. But that's what's gotten you all these people to go and get in your corner, just being yourself. It's beautiful. Let
Yeah.
let's talk for a minute about your sponsors though, man, because I see you there dolled up like a NASCAR driver. So let's touch base on those guys.
Yeah, I would have worn a polo, but they're all getting cleaned for my big match. So,
I like it, man.
yeah, I got time tips, brake tips, chalk. I think they make the best chalk in the world. I think I can count on my hand the last time a ball has skid on me in 2 years. And I was using them. I was using them before I even got sponsored because I just think they're the best chalk out there, and I was using them anyway. And then when I made Mosconi Cup, I said, "Hey, I'm going to be using your chalk," and they're like, "Oh, really?" And then that's where it started. And then Salado, Colby and Reed,
How
and I
great
think
are
I
those
saw
guys?
Brandon.
I
I think I
I
saw
talked.
Brandon in the comments.
Yeah, he was here.
Yeah, they if you have matches with your friends and you want to put them on your Fargo rates and have them count on towards your Fargo rate, you use this app. You can log them, do whatever, and that way, if you and your friends are arguing over who won, you can just go back to the app and show them who really did. So
I
that's
have
good.
I've made it no secret how much I enjoy the Salado guys, Colby and Reed, and
Yeah, they're super cool.
we talk all the time, and they're great friends of the show, but more importantly, they're great personal friends, and I really value their friendship, but they're awesome. But I'll tell you, because I got a message. So Joey obviously isn't here, but he wanted to be here. And
Right.
whenever I told him, he sent me a selfie, and actually he was in Dallas, man. He was only up there for like a few hours today doing some
Oh
business in
wow.
Fort Worth. But anyway, he says, tell Chris I'll challenge him to a duel, bar box 8 ball, race to 11, Salado match. So yes. Oh, and then he said for 500. So whenever you guys get in the same town, y'all got some
Bar
action.
bar boxes are ruining my Fargo. I swear. I,
But he said,
I'm.
but you know what? In true Arizona fashion, he said, I'm only playing one set and I'm quitting them winner in the quickness.
Oh, I
So
know another guy like that from Arizona. That's good.
that's funny. No, who were your other sponsors you got there, buddy?
I got Predator cues,
Yeah,
tables. Yeah, all that lights.
everything.
They're basically cornering the market.
Yeah, yeah,
They got
everything and
everything.
anything. Yeah,
They're gonna have. They got cases. I love their case. You seen the ones that like come out? They fold out like that.
the
I like
Urbane or
it's
the
like a big
Urban.
old tent. You can put everything in there.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I love their 314, and then their. I'm probably switching to the 11.8 Revo after this match. I know you know.
I was gonna say, don't change before.
Yeah, I'm not
Do
doing that.
not
I'm not
change
doing that.
before. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah. So Predator and then Fort Worth Billiards. They're local here. They're about 40 minutes from me. They have a great uh, store in Fort Worth, and they got just about everything. They have chairs. They have darts. They have cues, tables, balls. They got literally everything you need. And
I
then
know Albert pretty well, and I was lucky enough to go over there. I think last year, right whenever the new, what do you call it, they had just moved into that new store like not too long ago. At that point,
oh okay,
and he's a solid guy. And that place, if y'all never been there, I highly suggest going by and check it out because just that storefront, that area, the whole display area,
yeah.
just is remarkable.
And they got Rassin tables too. They have a few Rassin tables. You can go and test hit cues, shafts, whatever you want. They're super nice people. And if you go, tell them Chris sent you.
I like it. All right, so let's finish up right where we started off,
Oh,
Chris.
hold on. I got two more.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, buddy.
I got Lintman Lights, one of the best handmade lights in the business. He hand makes them himself and it crafts them and kind of makes cool designs with them. And if you go to the BCA that we were just at,
I
they're
saw
all
them all
the
in Vegas, man.
yeah,
They were all over the place.
all of them. And then also on the wire creative media, Rahana
Rahana, nice.
is a crazy one man show that does everything, and I don't know how he does it. Yeah, but he does it.
You got Sean Damani in there saying, "What about me?"
What about him? Yeah, shout out to Jointed Q Billiards, Sean Damani.
Yeah. All right, so let's come full circle, buddy. How are you gonna beat Shane McMinn this weekend?
um, well, I mean, I've been
What
thinking about this a
or
little.
what's got to go right, I guess, because I don't want you to give any of your secrets away. But what's got to go right in order for you to
There's
come home
no,
with
there's really no secrets. I mean, pool is pool. I really just have to,
and don't give me
cause I,
that political correct answer. Oh, I got to play my game and I got to do this. No,
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 not even that.
we
Just
want
like,
some juicy around here.
you want something juicy?
Yeah.
I don't know if I could say that. Let's
Hey,
not
this
say
is
that. I got to be careful because
this is the
I'm
PG
really
show, my man.
I don't know if anyone knows this, but I'm hilarious, and it's just I did it's too good for my own self sometimes. So I got my witty comebacks. Got to just
Uh,
chill out a little bit.
you got to pick and choose your spots, buddy.
Got to pick and choose my
Yeah.
spots. But yeah, I mean, I think does Ohio have a river?
I don't know. I'm assuming so.
I mean, Shane's gonna go swim through it, right? And he's gonna play me.
Oh yeah, yeah. There you go. Okay. All right.
All
All
right.
right. Dum
So once he
dum.
does that, he'll be nice and ready, tender, and let's see. All right. So how am I going to beat him? Well, I've been putting a lot of hours in at a time and just really focusing every ball. I think that's going to help for when it comes down to it because it's gonna be some long sessions and I think I'm being ready for the grind for the first time, and I'm really ready to battle every ball no matter what. And you know, other aspects of my game are going to be there, unlike they were the last long races I had. But I think really making sure I take care of each game that I can win is the big plus for me.
Well, I like it, man, and I'm gonna be looking forward to it. I'm gonna be out in Philly, but I'm gonna be checking in whenever I can and watching because I, matter of fact, I still got to pay Ray for my last subscription. So Ray, I ain't forgot about you, but I'm looking forward. Check it out on Pool Action TV. Let me see. I think we got a graphic here. There it is. So, April 22nd through the 24th, Pool Action TV. I think Jeremy Jones is going to be commentating. It's going to be at Action Palace, which is Alex Olinger's new place. I think Chapo owns a piece of that too, if I'm not mistaken. But it's up to what now, Chris? Like 60,000 in the middle, 30,000 a man, something like that.
60 in the middle at least, and then I know Tommy's taking some side bets. If
He said he was wide open the last I seen.
yeah, yeah, I mean, I just do what the man says. So I mean, if you want to bet,
That's
hit me up or hit him up.
hey, Tommy is Tommy's got a very good eye when it comes to games and matching up and getting behind players. So,
That's what I'm
you know,
hoping. Um,
yeah, having Tommy in your corner, having your Tommy in your corner is pretty good, man.
he's a quick story. He's actually been Oscar got him to stake me for $500. The first time I ever gambled for more than 200 when I was in college. I drove 3 hours to play an unknown player from Peoria, Illinois, and for 500, and it was like a lot to me at that time. I just got into college and all that, and so he staked me. I drove all the way out there. I beat him in like two sets. I think it was a set on the big table, set on the bar table, and then I won both. Drove home. Um, anyway, I hit a curb on the way home, and I asked Tommy how much he wanted me to send him. Right, so I sent him the 500 he originally sent me. Plus, I said, "How much do you want me to send you back?" Right, I was expecting him to say like, give me 300 or three, whatever, and I would have been okay with it just because I wanted to go play, right? And he said, "Here, take 300, just send me back two," and I was like, I felt terrible about that. I'm like, no, 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 I'll give you 250, whatever, right? And so anyway, it started from there. After I won that, then it kind of snowballed into I played another player a big set, and then another player a big set, and then it kind of went from there. He just started trusting that I'm not gonna, mess him over. I'm not gonna do, just I'm not gonna mess with his money if that makes sense.
Not gonna
So
dump him.
yeah, I'm not gonna dump, not gonna do this,
Yeah,
not gonna do that. He knew that he could trust me, so that's when it all
right.
started. And then I went to Derby for the first time when my first year in Lindenwood, and I think I made like gambling with people because that was the first time I ever been out of California, so no one really know how I played. I went there with Oscar. Oscar got me Tommy basically, and because he trusted Oscar so much, and that's how it kind of went. I stayed on Oscar's floor the first time I went at Derby. I won like 8,000 in like 3 days, and I'm
Nice,
I'm in
man.
college, right? I had like
That's a lot of money when
I
you're
had
in
like two
college.
hundred dollars when I went over there. I had enough for gas on the way back. I was crashing with
If
Oscar
you're
on the
lucky.
floor. Yeah, and then I came back to school with like 8,000. I went to like TJ Maxx and bought some Nike stuff, and I was like, "What the hell?" And I thought I was rich, and then whatever.
the rest is
But yeah,
history.
I mean
Yeah,
that's how me and Tommy got together was actually through Oscar, and so thank you, Oscar. If I wouldn't be playing this match if it wasn't for Oscar
Tommy's great, and so is
and
I mean
Tommy, Tommy.
yeah, Oscar's my boy, and but Tommy is also just stand up.
Oh
We had
yeah,
this deal where we were doing some stuff for juniors, and he donated quite a bit to, man, I want to say it was like 7 or 8 juniors with one PKT and gave him a bunch of gears. So I like Tommy a lot. We're actually gonna have him on. I'll talk to him whenever we were out in Vegas about bringing him on and just talking shop with him. So we'll
no,
um,
he's
we'll set we'll
he's
set
one
that
of the
up and
most solid dudes you'll ever meet.
for
100%. You
sure.
know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Like
No, I got nothing but
nothing
respect for
funny
him.
about it at all. Nothing funny, but no funny business ever.
The first time I seen Tommy was, I think, at, I forgot what event it was, but he was playing Dennis something like 13-3 or 13-4, something ridiculous.
Yeah,
And there was and I don't know who Tommy was, but there was some Dennis was arguing about a ball, and Tommy said this line that's still stuck with me to this day. He's like, "I'm not gonna cheat you for 10,000. I'm not gonna cheat you for $1. So I'm telling you right now, this is where it was at." And
yeah, 100%.
that was my first impression of Tommy Medina, and I got a lot of respect for him. So, yeah, we're looking forward to having him on. Chris, we had you on for a lot longer than what I thought it was going to be. To be honest with you, I thought we'd be on for like maybe 20 minutes and just in and out, but we've been on for about 50 minutes now, so we're gonna let you go. But I appreciate you coming on because I know you got a busy week ahead of you. We wish you the best of luck. And for full disclosure, we'll reach out to Shane and try to get him on as well sometime in the next few days and hear from
Okay.
him. But
Yeah.
yeah, man, thanks a lot, and yeah, good luck, brother.
All right.